The Utopia of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's newest megaship launching in just a couple days. And in this week's edition of Sunday Sofa Time, I'm gonna tell you about how I managed to book a cruise on it for basically nothing. It is Sunday, July 14th, 2024, and like I said today on this week's edition of Sunday Sofa Time, we're going to be talking about this fantastic new ship. We're going to be talking about how much it costs to cruise with it, some of the very high prices for the activities on board, and how I managed to book a cruise on it for basically free. I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. I've been making travel videos for over 15 years of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. And I also wrote a book of travel stories called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship. It's available on Amazon now. If you are at all interested in the cruise world, if you watch me or many of the other cruise tubers on YouTube, I'm sure you will have heard of the Utopia of the Seas. But one ship that you've probably heard more about recently is the Icon of the Seas. That is the newest, at the moment, ship from Royal Caribbean because the Utopia of the Seas has not yet officially launched. And one thing that you might not know is, and this is something I didn't understand at first, although the Utopia of the Seas is a newer ship, the Icon is bigger. So the Icon of the Seas is the first in a new class of ships from Royal Caribbean. It is currently the largest cruise ship in the world, which was taken over from the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas. And the Utopia of the Seas is going to be more or less a clone of the Wonder of the Seas. So newest ship, yes. Biggest ship, no, but it's like the tied for the second largest passenger cruise ship in the world. And you know, that's still pretty big. The official first sailing of this ship is on July 19th, and I'm so excited that we're gonna be on the ship on the cruise that starts on August 5th. So basically one of the first couple of cruises on this brand new ship. And I'm gonna tell you how I managed to get a cruise for almost free on this ship. But first of all, let's look at what it would cost if you were going to be paying full price. I went to the Royal Caribbean website and saw that apparently all the cruises on it are sold out up until after we disembark. So on this cruise leaving a little bit later in August, if you click through all the options here, you can get a balcony cabin for $3,438 US, which, you know, if you click on the pricing details here for per person, it shows the one guest is supposed to pay $2,434 something, and the second guest, because of this BOGO 60 deal, is supposed to pay $1,003. But if you just add it all up and then divide it, that's a little more than $1,700 per person for a 4-night cruise. That's not the least expensive cruise you can get for sure, but it's on a basically brand new ship. And if we want to take a look at the prices for some of the other things on board, this is one thing that I always think is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird that when you are planning a cruise, there's a lot of prices of things that you can't find out until you actually book the cruise. Things like restaurant prices, excursion prices, dining packages, things like that. You won't have access to the actual prices for your sailing until you book the cruise. So I'm going to show you what they are for this cruise for some certain things that I know a lot of people are interested in, like the drink package. I recently made a video here talking about how I've reached diamond status with Royal Caribbean, which means I've cruised so many times on Royal Caribbean that my status now allows me certain perks. And the best, or one of the best perks that I receive is 4 free drinks a day. But if you don't have diamond status and you are interested in buying the drink package on this sailing on the Utopia of the Seas, they're offering it for $85.99 per person, which that's a lot of money. You have to be drinking a lot of cocktails, beer, wine, soda, and coffee a day to make that make sense. And when you remember that that's just the price for one person, and unless you're cruising solo, you have to get it for both people in the cabin. You better make sure that you're really thirsty before you get on the cruise. if you book the drink package. You can also see here they have a refreshment package for sodas and juices, which is $29.99 per person. They have just the soda package, which is $9.99 per person. And then they have a 12 or 24 bottle of Evian water package, which starts at $35.99. And the final thing they have listed here is a Coffee Select coffee card, which is $31 per package. And I definitely know some people out there who cannot live without their coffee. Hashtag my sister. Another popular upgrade that people book to their cruise package is some kind of internet access. You know, when I think back to my first cruise on the Royal Caribbean Monarch of the Seas, I don't think internet was offered at all. Now, I think Royal Caribbean has access to several satellites and they have this Voom internet, which is actually more or less like a pretty good internet on land. And the website lists the Voom Surf and Stream internet package as $24.99 per guest per day. By the way, hot tip, if there's just two of you, it's usually less expensive to book the package where it's one person and two devices instead of one person, one device, and another person, one device. All you have to do is book the package, one person, two devices, and then the second person just needs to sign in with the same name and password as the first person. As with all Royal Caribbean ships nowadays, new or old, you can expect certain dining venues and drinking venues on board, like the Schooner Bar, like Chops Grill, like Giovanni's, the Windjammer, things like that. But one dining venue that's gonna be brand new and at first exclusive to the Utopia of the Seas is the Royal Railway. There's been a lot of talk about this online. It's going to be sort of a virtual train ride where you go to dinner, but you're sitting in a train car and you're looking out of the train car at scenery that is going past. And where have I seen something like this before? Universal Studios. But apparently there's going to be a certain level of storytelling involved. It's going to be something that you can go back to and have like a different experience. I think at the moment there's only one experience offered, but in an interview, the director said that they're planning on creating more experiences, so it's something that you can go back to and it will be a little bit different the next time you go. Anyways, at the moment, if you want to have dinner here, in addition to the price that you've already paid for your cruise, it's going to cost you $119. And I think it sounds so cool, but I am not paying $119 for it. For $119, I would rather go to Universal Studios and ride the Hogwarts Express. Probably can't get that for $119 anymore either, but you know what I mean. There is so much great food offered on Royal Caribbean ships that I never really feel compelled to pay for the upcharge restaurants. Of course, this is enticing because it's theming, it's storytelling. These are things that I'm really into, but you know what? If it was like $45, you might be able to get me in there. And in fact, I think it's sold out anyways, or maybe they're having some problems with it because on the website and also in the app, I went looking for it and it doesn't even show up anymore. I know the friend I'm cruising with a couple weeks ago, she found it and told me the price that was listed when she looked at it. So it must have been there at one point, but now it's gone. Our cruise will be stopping in Nassau, where we're gonna be doing one of the best things you can do on a cruise that stops at Nassau.
Stay right on the ship.
And I'm so excited that we are going to be going to Coco Cay, or Coco Cay, depending on how you wanna say it. This is especially exciting for me because one of the cruise videos that really gave me a voice in this community was the video I made of this private island from Royal Caribbean 12 years ago. It's the first video I had that got over 100,000 views, and for a long time, it was basically the only video about Coco Cay on the internet. I know that sounds completely ridiculous and unbelievable now, but in the beginning, there weren't that many people making travel videos about cruise destinations. So I kind of want to say, if it wasn't for Coco Cay, I probably wouldn't be sitting here on the red sofa right now talking about a cruise on the Utopia of the Seas. And I haven't been there since the renovation where they turned it into like an amusement park. So I'm really curious to see what it's like, and I'm going to be posting a side-by-side comparison of the video I made back then to what it looks like now, and I'm I'm really looking forward to doing that. And I'll also be making a video about the prices of things on Coco Cay, and people, these prices are out of this world expensive. We're talking about thousands of dollars for like a half-day rental of a cabana. And no, that does not include a bottle of Dom Perignon and a free massage. And I promised I would tell you, how did I manage to book this cruise for literally just a little more than $100? This is something that also you could make happen. As I mentioned, one way that you can get discounts on onboard activities, on drink and dining packages, and on cruises altogether is by joining any cruise line's frequent cruiser club. On Royal Caribbean, it's called Crown and Anchor. I mentioned I'm a diamond member with that. The best perk I get at the moment is for free drinks, but there are other levels that offer you discounts on upgrades or free upgrades or even free cruises. But there is another club that you can be a part of that will almost definitely get you free cruises, and that is the Casino Club. If you're somebody who enjoys spending time and money in the casino and you reach a certain level of plays and money fed through the machine, eventually Royal Caribbean is literally gonna start sending you pages of offers for free cruises. And the reason I know this is not only because I did some research on it and found out about it previously, but a good friend of mine who I've known since we were, I want to say kids, since we were 14 years old, she's one of these people. She was invited on this cruise on the Utopia of the Seas, and she asked me if I wanted to go with her. So it's not that Royal Caribbean has offered me a cruise for free as a travel vlogger, it's that my friend offered me to cruise for free because she's a wonderful friend and she wants to have a good time. I'm really looking forward to seeing this new ship. I'm looking forward to showing you around. I'm curious to know if there's anything specific that you would like me to show on the ship other than the cabin and the public spaces. I kind of think that how I'm gonna do the ship tour is sort of just say, if you know an Oasis class ship, this is what's different on the Utopia compared to the other ones, because the other Oasis class ships, they're all very similar. I already know about some things that are different as far as designs and locations on the Utopia, but I'm looking forward to being there and seeing it and bringing it to you too. That cruise leaves on August 5th. I'm gonna be in Orlando for a couple days before that, and those videos won't be going online until probably at the earliest September. Between now and then, I have the rest of the videos from our Brilliance of the Seas Hawaii cruise coming for you, as well as some Disney videos that I filmed actually last January. And when all that's online and I've had enough time to recover from this crazy trip I have coming up, that's when the Utopia videos will start going online, and I can't wait to show you. Thanks for spending this part of your Sunday, or whatever day it is you choose to watch this with me. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and I will see you back here soon.